There's one group that likes panics, likes hysteria. And when we understand that, we can understand hysteria. Our best example has been in front of us for 2 weeks. It's the Omicron variant, discovered in South Africa in late November. Let's talk in these 2 weeks about the statistics for Omicron. In these 2 weeks, the number of deaths attributed to Omicron, 0. 0. It is not lethal. Let's talk about hospitalizations serious enough to put somebody on a ventilator. That number, 0, I believe. What is going on when the affliction is scratchy throat, runny nose, things that are no worse than a cold, and we don't get hysterical about that? It's because a panic gives license to those in authority. Governors take control. Bureaucrats, unelected, have more power to constrict, have more funds often, have more ability to use those funds for things that they like and steer them away from things that they don't like. Our legislators in most states deferred to powerful people, usually governors, sometimes state boards, narrow, who were able to put on more restrictions. These powerful people get more empowered when we say we're helpless, and we shouldn't be. Officials will take that power granted to them almost every time. When a legislature punts to you, who is a governor to say, no, I don't want it? Even in Wyoming, the governor took authority from its legislature. Can that ever change? Let me introduce one group that could. Libertarians. The libertarians, civilian and the few who are elected, don't want power. Power entrusted to them is such a solemn thing to be used with such discernment and generally not used if possible. They want to remove power from as many aspects of the government that the Constitution provides. They want to follow the state constitution, the federal constitution, and do almost nothing else. That is a beautiful thing. And by the way, it was the American ideal at its founding. And it was darn good for the first 180 years. It was only more like 120. Only in the 19 teens, did progressives decide that government should go beyond the Constitution. Until that time, there were many judges, presidents even, that would say, we don't have the power to do this. We don't want this, even though it might be good and preferred by that president. But that changed, and the era of big government that knew no bounds from the constitutional restraints that were put in 1789, they seemed to go away by 1919. It's a shame that we think it radical to go back to the limited government that our framers wanted. But that is exactly what libertarians would do, and even in a real crisis. Omicron is not a real crisis. COVID, maybe. But ask a libertarian, what would your solution have been? Almost every one of them would say, protect people who need protection. Let the rest of us do our jobs. That is still my message anyway, and I hope you'll have the chance to ask more prominent libertarians in campaigns that you'll see. Please look beyond row A and row B. Look at what libertarians have to say for solutions, first of all, and philosophies that gird us beyond the present crises. I'm Mark Stewart.